Motorsport New Zealand introduced this next award to recognise the actions of an individual who, either through vision or commitment or a special set of circumstances, have brought credit to the sport and themselves. Ron Frost, MBE, was a person of great passion and vision for the sport, and through his vision and commitment, his efforts were recognised with the sport with the admittance to the Motorsport Wall of Fame, an award of merit, and by the New Zealand Government and Royal Assent, an MBE for services to motorsport. Any holder of this prestigious award will be in great company. Tonight's recipient, a true visionary of New Zealand motorsport. As founder of the Speed Sport magazine, he not only championed local motorsport through media, but laid the groundwork for a legacy far greater through the Speed Sport Scholarship. In partnership with Sabre Motorsport, the scholarship has discovered and developed some of New Zealand's most successful drivers. Now, please don't correct me on this list, Lyle. Shane Van Gisbergen, Richie Stanaway, Nick Cassidy, each of these international stars receiving guidance from this person in the earliest phases of their careers. In 2015, he recognised another future star, Liam Lawson. After Lawson won the scholarship in this person's final year of involvement in the program, he became a tireless supporter of Liam's progression. While working his day job as a school cleaner, he devoted spare time to managing Liam's career voluntarily in the early years, coordinating race programs, building funding strategies, assembling a world-class support network. Lawson's success eventually allowed this recipient to become his manager full-time. His quiet but determined leadership was pivotal in Liam's rise towards Formula One. In fact, it's today, 10 years to the day, since Liam won the Speed Sports Scholarship. He remains humble and behind the scenes, still mentoring young talent and pushing others forward. His lifelong contribution to thinking big and the lives and the careers he's changed embody the spirit of the Ron Frost Award. Please welcome on the stage Grant McDonald.
Nothing comes easy. No, nothing at all. But if we believe it, we're hunting for it all. No, nothing comes easy. So baby, come on. Whatever you're feeling, we can ride on.
Okay, now I can understand why Ross Meeking spent 10 days trying to get me here and I tried not to come. Thank you very much. Look, I mean, when Ross told me that he'd even organised the airfares, if anyone knows Ross Meeking's buying airfares, I thought something was a bit strange, but hey, thank you very much. It's been an amazing journey working with so many talented young New Zealanders, and they just keep coming. And I spoke to Liam just before he went to Imola, and we were talking about the fact of how we're unwinding his management in New Zealand, and said, you know, my job's now sitting in the stand and watching the show, and I'm very happy to do that. And reminded him that first and foremost, I love motorsport. And the fact that he came along and part of that journey, and we've shared 10 years of an amazing story, is great. But it's not all about you, Liam. It's not all about that. It's just I love motorsport. And it started for me watching or looking at pictures of Rod Coppins and Red Dawson in the paper. And then Ari Vartanen and Jim Scott came tearing up our southern Hawke's Bay roads, and that was what really spun my wheels, so to speak. Started working for the Dannevirke Evening News, and luckily we had the late Malcolm Stewart lived in our neighbourhood, so I enjoyed writing about the Dannevirke Car Club rather than stock sales and Country Women's Institute's AGMs, which were pretty boring. But yeah, look, it's been an incredible journey with everybody, and particularly with Liam. And look, it takes a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work. We know all those things, but the other thing it takes is absolute obsession. You have to be obsessed to get where you are. And I remember being in Helmut Marko's office the first time in Austria and sitting down with him and said to him, this game is actually really simple, isn't it, Helmut? And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, the kid's fast enough or we go home. And that's the story that goes with everyone that I try to help. It's up to you. You make your own way in life. And through the scholarship, I think all we really meant to do was to build a runway to teach these kids to fly. And once they leave the ground, they're on their own. And for a while, you're in the control tower and you can advise them. But eventually, they go off your radar. And like Liam, they're on their own now. They make their own decisions. They're in their own world. And they'll make us all proud. And thank you very much. There's still more coming along. Starting to work with Tom Bewley, so if anyone wants to invest in a very good next WEC New Zealand driver, come and talk to me. And we've got another young kid coming into Formula Ford later in the year. But look, truly honoured, and thank you very much. Thank you.